to try to sort of, in a simplistic way, organize kind of the categories so you don't, so the number of things available don't become out of control in your head. You know, like on the card, I see that you guys were organizing slip at one end and then the blaze at the other end. And that's the thing to keep in mind, is that on that one shelf, there's going to be, you know, maybe 20, 25 different containers that just have slip in it alone. And they're different colors, but they all work the same way, and they can also be mixed if you want to mix colors together. They're all the same base, so they're all basically one thing. So you need to know kind of how to apply that one thing. So the slip is one thing that you have. So just to begin with, when you have fine texture like this, if you put a slip over it and just, you know, go at it pretty, even light-handed, you'll fill this all in and it will disappear. The good news is you can cover up messy areas on a piece that you're not happy with. Bad news, if you want to hang on to that, this slip is not the way to go for this area. It doesn't mean that you couldn't do slip in here or slip on the outside. You know, it's just for this area here, you've got to think about what you're going to do to enhance that texture and put a surface on it that's going to make that as powerful as possible. So this is a tile that just has an oxide wash in it. So back on the shelf, there are two sort of like plastic shoe boxes that have these jars. One says low fire, one says high fire. You want the low fire ones because in ours, there is a flux added that helps if you only want to use this surface and in areas. In order for that to truly be stuck down, low fire, you've got to have the frit. High fire, these metals, copper, chrome, they slightly begin to melt at a high temperature, and so they really stick to the bisque surface. If ours go into high fire, they might kind of turn into a glaze because they have frit in them, and it's going to a higher temperature. So just make sure that that's a long explanation for why you want the low fire, but that's what you want. So basically what these are, other than the frit, it's copper, the metal, the colorant. Remember the spices, think about them as you use them in small amounts. Just that and water, basically. So if a jar hasn't been disturbed for a long time, it's going to be a whole lot of water and then sludge at the bottom. The sludge is the oxide. So with the texture, and you see you can do this kind of paint it on, wash it off sort of method with other things. You can take the bisque slip. You could put the bisque slip in this texture and then wipe it off the surface. Take a wet brush and wipe it off so you only are getting the bisque slip right down there in that texture, and then you take the rest off. Maybe you leave a little bit of residue because this is sort of pitted. So if you leave a little of that color in the pit, that's cool. But you've got it off of most of these areas, so you'll see those lines. Same thing, you could take the mix clear, you could paint it on, then you could wash it off so that only that glaze was down in these lines. So you can use other things like a wash. You just need to understand the concept that you have to sort of cover the surface in order to get it down there. And then you take your wet brush and you take more off, and sometimes you take too much off, so then you have to put more on. So this needs to be mixed right away, or today, and I will take care of that.
So this one's a high fire.
Thank you for pointing that out. Okay,
Thank you so
I'm going
much.
to scurry. I took